Hello, everyone. This is Mike from Fastgen. Good to have you. I'll give everyone a couple of seconds to get situated because we are streaming this on a couple of different platforms. And we will have people on YouTube, we will have people on Twitter, people on LinkedIn watching this. I think maybe even one or two more. So let me give them, let's say, 30 seconds, and then we can go. Okay, so hello everyone. This is the official start of the Fastgen and Frontend Hackathon. I'm very excited. We've put a lot of work into preparing this. We have a lot of great participants, some that we already know, some that have found us, Fastgen, for the very first time. We are very excited. If you haven't added yourself on the Discord server yet, please join. And now I'll talk a little bit about higher level. What are the rules for the hackathon? What are the prizes? Just to remind you, where can you find resources? Where can you ask questions? And then we'll also talk a little bit about the jury and maybe one or two other relevant points that we might have. And for that, I have a couple of slides that lead you through. There we go. So, hello again. It's a pleasure to have you here. And we are very excited to have Product Hunt as a co-host for this one. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but we think it's a great combination, building products fast and then launching them afterwards to a very broad audience of people all over the world. And let's talk a little bit about the timeline. So this is the official start of the hackathon. You can start building immediately. And if you've already started building a couple of hours ago because of the time zone differences today, that's fine. Today's the official start date, and we can start hacking. The hackathon will take 2 weeks. It's a remote hackathon. You can build from anywhere in the world. And we have a couple of events sprinkled in, some that are already set and some that we are still figuring out the exact timing. So today we have the opening speech, which is right now. So you're attending that already. Then we will have a speech by Andreas from Toddle. Toddle is a low-code frontend that is compatible or very compatible with Fastgen. We'll have the speech later today. Then we have 2 speeches tomorrow, one from John Higgins from Flutterflow and one from Slavo from WeWeb. So tomorrow, 2 additional speeches that you can join and learn more about Flutterflow and WeWeb, especially in combination with Fastgen. Then we have a Product Hunt launch session at some point where it will be us. We've done like 2 decently successful Product Hunt launches in the past, always being top 3 of the day and week. And then we will get a couple of friends in that also have done some Product Hunt launches that were very successful. So we talk a little bit about what goes into a good Product Hunt launch, what are the rules, what should you consider, et cetera, et cetera. That will probably be in the second week of the hackathon. We are still figuring out the last details. Then we'll have a speech by someone who's a very successful indie hacker. That was the most common request we got from participants in the hackathon. So we got John Rush, who has done like a lot in the space. He founded more than 100 companies or like built more than 100 products. A couple of them are very successful. One has a couple million ARR. So that will be very exciting and will probably be the final speech. Maybe we get some surprise guest in, but this is what it currently looks like. And then we have the project submission deadline. It's December 11th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So you have almost exactly 2 weeks, and then you need to submit the project and everything that is related to it. What are the rules? You can have 1 to 5 team members. The Fastgen usage, you need to use Fastgen in some meaningful way. And meaningful way means you don't have like one API that just has like 2 action blocks and then it's done. You need to use it in some kind of considerable fashion. You can build like a couple of APIs, workflows, the database. There's a lot of, we didn't want to like specify it too much because there's so many different ways of using Fastgen. But if you are ever in doubt, you can just ask us. But basically, if Fastgen does a lot of the lifting for your backend or the new feature that you're building with this, then it's fine. Project type, it needs to be either a new product or a significant new feature. So significant means it needs to be like a standalone feature that you started working on today. And what are the submission elements? So what do you need to submit? One, you need to submit a video where you explain what you have worked on, how does it work. You need to show us a little bit behind the curtains what's going on and how you thought about it. Then we need the Product Hunt launch link. So the link that just leads us to your Product Hunt launch. The Fastgen project URL, that's just like a link to your specific project within Fastgen. And then a couple of details about the team. We need that because in case you win, then we need to send you all the prizes. The deadline, as I mentioned, December 11th, 11:59 Eastern time, PM. And the Product Hunt launch, there's official launch guidelines that you should follow that are here, that are also on the Discord. But we'll also talk about this. And if you have any questions, you can always ask us on the Discord. So what are the prizes? The prizes are, for the best overall project, you will get a one-on-one call with the Product Hunt CEO. You will get a celebratory video on Times Square, which is right over there. And then you will get a swag kit, both from Product Hunt and from Fastgen, and $1,500 in cash. If you get the best Product Hunt launch, then you will win a Product Hunt swag kit and $500 in cash. And if you get the best Fastgen project, you will get a Fastgen swag kit, 3 months of Fastgen Pro, and $500 in cash. So there's 3 different prizes that you can win. And again, if your product for some reason isn't suited to be launched on Product Hunt, which will be the minority, most people will launch something on Product Hunt. But if yours for some reason isn't suited for that, because it's something internal or whatever, you can still win the best Fastgen project, but you can't win best overall project and you can't win best Product Hunt launch. But yeah, those are the prizes. I am very certain that you will have a lot of fun with them, especially the one-on-one call with the Product Hunt CEO, I think is a very, very cool thing, which is a great transition because this is the jury. And Rajiv, who's the current CEO of Product Hunt, is one of the members of the jury. He has built a venture-backed company before. He has a lot of experience in product engineering around the whole tech ecosystem, raised a lot of money from top-tier VCs, and now transitioned into the role of CEO as Product Hunt as of this year. Then we have Nate, who's a general partner at Mischief, which is an early-stage venture capital fund. But before he did that, he was the head of product at Front. Front is $1 billion SaaS company that is all centered around emails, combining inboxes, and making people more productive, working together as a team in their inboxes. So he has a lot of experience when it comes to product. One of my favorite people to talk to whenever I have any product questions. Then we have Per. Per is the CEO of Cal.com. Cal.com is an open source alternative to Calendly. Raised a lot of money for the company. This is his 3rd company that he's building. So serial entrepreneur. Cal.com is one of the fastest growing open source tools there are. And he's also a good friend of the company and someone that has a lot of experiences in launching products successfully just because he's launched so many different things. And then the last one is me. I'm the CEO of Fastgen. And this is the second company we're building together as a team. The first one was a fintech that we raised $100 million in capital and debt for. And we went through Y Combinator twice, first with the fintech, then with Fastgen. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what you all come up with. This is the second hackathon we're doing. The first one was already a blast. And I assume this one will hopefully be even better. So what is Fastgen? For those who don't know yet, Fastgen is a low-code backend. You can use it to build your APIs. You can build workflows with it. You can use it to build cron jobs, so to schedule things on a regular basis. We have user authentication pre-built for you, the backend part, so that you can sign up your users, so that users can log in, so that you can partition who can see what in your app. And we also have a database. So we have a Postgres database that's hosted within Fastgen. So you have everything that you need for your backend purposes in like one place. And then we also very modular. So you can connect a lot of different things. You can connect any front end you want. You can code your own front end. You can basically use any kind of low-code front end. We'll show you a couple of recommendations later. And then on the other hand, if you also, for example, are already using Supabase, for example, you can also plug that into Fastgen and use it as the database. You don't have to, but that's a great thing about Fastgen. You can if you want to. And then we also have lots of integrations that are pre-built for you that will save you time. We have integrations with tools like Stripe or ChatGPT or Slack or Twilio, lots of email tools. So the whole idea is basically that we make it faster for you to build your business logic, and you can just focus on thinking about what actually delivers value to your customers or users. And if you have any additional questions about Fastgen, we'll talk a little bit more about the vision of the company. We'll talk a little bit more about where we actually want to go during the hackathon. The short version of it is we want to build the best low-code backend there is. We saw all these great low-code front-end tools like Webflow, Flutterflow, WeWeb, and then also new entrants like Toddle. But we couldn't really see anything to the same degree in the backend. And we thought that this is very much needed and that there is a lot of gap in the space that needs to be filled because more people should have access to it. And this is where we are. So Fastgen, we'll talk about more in the next couple of days and weeks. What is Product Hunt? Most of you probably know Product Hunt. It's the premier place in the world to launch your software products. It has a whole community of indie hackers, makers, startups, people from larger companies. Basically, it's the first place people look where they want to find new products, and then also the first place people go when they want to launch products. And yeah, we'll have a session on how to launch on Product Hunt. We will have a session of what you shouldn't do and should do. And maybe as a side fact, many of our original users and still many users that find us through Product Hunt. So it's a very good channel to find new users that are interested in new products. So resources, we have linked them in Discord as well, but we have the docs for Fastgen where you find detailed explanations of how to use the features. We have a YouTube channel that you can visit. Maybe you're actually watching it through the YouTube channel right now, where you can see explanatory videos of how Fastgen works, especially also in combination with some of the tools that we'll talk about. The Discord server is very important. If you have any questions, please ask them on the Discord server. We'll try our best to answer them as quickly as possible. And those can be questions about the logistics of the hackathon, but also if you run into any technical challenges, if you're not sure how to build something, we will have the Fastgen team there, but we will also have some external mentors who are just very good at building complex technical products. So you will be very well served if you're on the Discord channel and ask your questions there. And then we also have the official Product Hunt launch guide. Again, this is important to follow because we want to make sure that we, like as a community in the hackathon, are submitting Product Hunt launches that are of a very high quality and make sure that we add a lot of value to the community. Then let's talk about front-end tools. As I mentioned, you can technically use any front-end you want, but we have a couple of front-end tools that many of our users have used before and that we want to recommend, at least for this one. Toddle is one of them. Flutterflow is another one. Flutterflow is especially helpful if you want to build a mobile app. And then we have WeWeb as the last one. So you will learn more about all those three tools and how they interact with Fastgen today and tomorrow. But basically, all of those tools have been used in connection with Fastgen by many users before. So we can basically say that lots of users are very happy with the combinations. There is like maybe one other connection that has been used a lot is Webflow plus Whist and then Fastgen. But yeah, basically choose whatever you want, but consider those tools because we just know that they work well. And that was, I misclicked, there we go. So let's see if there are any questions that we have. And for that, I'll jump out of this one and check the stream, whether there is anything. Okay, one question that I've just seen is whether there's a difference in terms of how we judge teams versus individuals. And no, there is not. Maybe like very, very slightly if you're like a 5-person team and the product is basically on the same level as the one from an individual contributor and everything else is the same, then we might give the edge to the person who worked alone. But otherwise, we just look at the product itself, how well was it thought out, how good is the product and launch. And teams do not always win. It's helpful to have a team because you can cover more distance in different areas. But in our last hackathon, we had some individuals who placed very, very highly. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay, I can see another question here, which is if you have any Fastgen specific questions that we can't answer via text, whether you can talk to us or whether we offer any kind of office hours. We will probably do office hours at least once or twice where we can just everyone can just come in and we'll talk about the specific problems that you have. Maybe we go through them with you one-on-one afterwards. But the whole idea is basically we try to be in the Discord where we can answer things asynchronously, and then maybe we can jump on a call with you really quickly in the Discord to make sure that everything is covered. Yes, submission form. We will send the link where you submit everything to the Discord at some point this week. As I mentioned earlier, we will need the video, the product and launch guide, the Fastgen URL, and a quick explanation of the team member details. And I don't assume that anyone will launch within the next 2 or 3 days, but you'll get the submission link in the next couple of days where you can add all the details that we need, and where we'll have basically it will just end up on our end, and then we can judge it at some point next week. We won't start with the judging, obviously, before the hackathon is over. I think these were all the questions that I've seen so far. If you have any additional questions, because I have a couple of different platforms that we're streaming on, so I might not have seen yours, then just ask them on the Discord. We make sure to get to them very quickly. And without that, I think there's only one more thing left to do, which is to tell everyone our favorite sentence in the whole world. Happy building. We hope that you have as much fun as we will have. And we're very excited about seeing what all of you will build. And yeah, again, I think this is more fun if you talk about what you're building in the community, if you encourage each other to do good work, and if you also help each other out, if you have any way of helping each other. So let's build some cool stuff. Let's prepare some great product launches, and let's have a lot of fun in the next 2 weeks. Thanks, everyone. See you soon, and have a good start to your week.